everyone. 372 pages that'll never be cozier has begun. I am Michael J. Nelson. With me, Connor Listoka. Hello, Connor.
Never been cozier, Mike. You're right to say that.
I'm trying to speak in my voice where you go to a spa. Have you ever gone to a spa?
Yeah, sure. Once or twice.
Yeah, and they speak in those low tones.
Mm-hmm.
I found it extremely irritating. I was tense the second I walked into a spa and they started talking. What?
You're like, the frequency only teenagers can hear. You're like that, but with the singing bowls. So that puts your hair on end to hear that strange noise.
What a humiliating thing. The mosquito tone, right? Thing that then everyone's laughing and teachers. All right, I can't hear. I'm sorry. I'm 38. I'm not that old.
It's like, okay, you got me. I can't hear an annoying sound.
Owned win,
teenager.
I guess. I don't know. Anyway, yes, this is the podcast where we talk about books we don't expect to like. And this is the cozy season. I'm assuming you're all cozy. And we're in the middle of a very cozy book called Owl Be Home for Christmas, which is book 2 in the series. Oh, man, I had it right here. Murder Be Damned or Murder Be Cozy or something like that.
What was it?
A Very Murder Christmas.
Joke. Well, how could you not remember that? It rolls off the tongue.
And the AI artwork for it, I just scrolled back to it. It has the owl on the tree. You'll soon find out about the owl. Ollantine?
Ollantine.
Ollantine?
Someone surmised that it could be supposed to be pronounced like Valentine, but that makes no sense.
Ollantine?
It's not a Valentine's Day. It's a very murder Christmas, not a very murder Valentine's.
But this is the first time I really looked at the artwork, the AI artwork with a tree and a cozy house and snow falling and everything. And the owl on a branch, and it says, "Just you wait and flee?"
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What's going on there?
Is that from A Christmas Carol? Just you wait and see.
It is from A Carol, but just you wait and see is. But what does just you wait and flee mean?
I think they just got pun overload. They started doing
just we need one more pun. Oh, come on! I sent you a sheet of them.
Yeah. It's like making a gingerbread house. There's always room to stick on one more peppermint stick on there.
That is true.
I also want to call you out.
Yes?
This book was 2021. I don't think anyone was, certainly not South African Rosier Point, was using AI image generation back then. This is sort of why we thought this would be good, because we knew that it would not be. So I think
the artwork is made by a human being.
It doesn't have when you look at it, it does have some of those AI hallmarks, like the tree sort of being inexplicably on top of the house, and the
hand
owl
with bent fingers. No, it doesn't have that.
Notably not a snowy owl, which is what the owl is here. But if she had insider access before anyone had ever heard of ChatGPT, good for her. That she's probably quite rich then.
Somebody probably gave it to her. I just wanted to open with a brief expose of my coziness. I want to let everyone know I'm sorry. I was cozy accidentally. We went to my brother-in-law's house, and it was to get together with a bunch of family members, because around Christmas we weren't going to be together. And so, there's a couple of cute kids around. There's Christmas music playing. In fact, the hosts, my brother-in-law and his wife, had on sweaters, one that looked like it was the Santa print, and then she had the elf print on.
Wow.
So, super cozy. And why we got together was so that each of the families could make a peppermint cake. Peppermint is big in this story.
Certainly, yeah.
It comes up a lot. It is very cozy.
Cake.
And it never occurred to me, because I'm just going about my life. It was very cold, so everyone was bundled up and coming in the front door, taking off scarves and greeting one another, and nog was served and everything. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of it, as my son is frosting a peppermint cake, I'm like, one of us is going to get murdered, clearly. What is happening? We are cozy as can be. It was so, anyway, I just suddenly found myself in the middle of coziness. I didn't even realize it. And then people are like, Mike, why are you drifting away? Like, I'm very suspicious of everyone putting cherries in
Yeah, come on back here, Mike. Come on. Maraschino cherries. Well, there you go. I mean, I'm sure there's been meta Hallmark movies and many cozy mysteries, but the guy who's read so many cozy mysteries that he gets invited to an event like that, and all he sees are, there's a dog eating a pie outside. And
the meta mystery series, it already has to be, right?
Yeah, but I mean, still, that's
because we talked. I think last time we talked about the convention of the cozy mystery writers, where someone is murdered. But then another step beyond that, where someone is cozy all the time. Well, anyway.
So when you tell people about this type of thing, coziness, or it probably didn't even come up. You probably have the means to keep those things compartmentalized. But do people just assume you're talking about Hallmark? Is that all? That sort of is what the stand-in for these books are. Because I think a lot more people have seen one of those movies than have read one of these
for sure
self-published books.
I brought this up with someone. This was not at this particular thing, something else. And I just said, someone said like, oh, what are you doing for don't you do some sort of a podcast or something? With that disgusted look. I was like, yeah, we do a cozy mystery just complete blank stare. I'm like, you cozy mysteries? No, never heard of it. My God.
Sir, I earn my living with my hands. The word cozy is disgusting to me.
Never heard of it. So then I had to explain, and if you're explaining, you're losing. And the person was like, I stopped listening 5 minutes ago.
Damn, I should have. John, you're just increasingly frustrated with them. Like, if someone is doing I've never seen Pulp Fiction, I've never seen Star Wars, and you keep getting more. You've never read Feta Off Dead. Really? You've never read Malarkey and Christmas River. Okay. I'm the weird one.
Sure. Yeah. Sure you haven't read it.
I don't even own a Kindle Unlimited membership. Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm feeling cozy. I hope you are too.
I am. I'm quite cozy. It's been delightful. Some of our readers or listeners are not super cozy. They're like, this book sucked, and it's like, what on earth did you expect, and how? what did you expect differently from any of the other ones that were on the table?
I thought it was going to be great, and it turns out it's not that good.
I don't strongly remember Murder in Christmas River or any of the things that aren't the main beats that the Quilters pushed back. But what on earth were you thinking was going to be different when we picked "I'll Be Home for Christmas" part of the what was it? A Very Murder Christmas series book 2. Come the hell on!
Better flee? No, I don't know. And also. I can't imagine the complaints if we had chosen one of the other. One of the books was like 85,000 words or something.
Yes.
This one is much shorter. So what if it had sucked at great length? You would have you pitchforks at our homes. You would
Episode 5 of us being like the cherries and the cakes. You're still talking about it.
So this is over and done. So I don't know. They should be cozy and happy, and everything should be merry and bright. Just you wait and flee, people.
This should be It's like a mug of peppermint hot chocolate. You don't want to be still swigging that down 17 hours later, like a Twilight Zone ironic punishment here. This is
a Russian mafia with a gun to your head. Keep drinking.
Yes. Stir it with stick.
Cozier. I'm so cozy.
I'm so cozy. Get to the rope, Le Chiffre. Hit them with peppermint rope in crotch.
No.
All right, we got there pretty quickly.
Yes, indeed. Do you want to bring everyone up to date on, not that this is that hard, but what's happening in I'll Be Home for Christmas?
Sure. I'll Be Home for Christmas has our protagonist, whose name is Holly, runs a dog walking business, or so we're told. It's you can keep the dog walking count going here. This is how she pays her bills. There hasn't been any yet, but she lives in a different apartment than her pet wiener dog, because her landlord does not allow them. And she got tired.
What's his name now? I was trying to think of it like without looking. It's like Shatner or shark face or
Well,
like
Shatner because he wears a toupee.
worm tongue or something. It's just
Djokovic.
Hey, I don't like dogs and I don't like you.
I forget which one. I don't remember, but I don't
he's
know.
Great. Anyway,
He encounters him here. She is hired by an eccentric rich woman in town to come and walk Allentine, and she discovers that Allentine's an owl. Hired to dog walk an owl is her YouTube thumbnail. And no sooner does she discover this eccentric request that the woman falls to the ground, clutching her throat and pointing at a slice of Christmas cake she was served. Turned out someone put cherries in the cake. And we have a list of 4 suspects who might have done this. As we said, the book is 20,000 words, so you don't really get into a rich cast of characters. But there are 4 suspects. There is the chef, who, despite writing no cherries on the wall, is still a suspect. You have the maid, because the butler did it, is the oldest of cliches in this genre. You have the husband, who seems to be a very angry old man who does not care for the pet owl. And you have a mysterious figure sighted outside the house. Something just occurred to me about him. But all we're told about him, they have a confrontation, and he angrily says that he's their son-in-law and storms away. He was wearing a faux hawk, though, a big city modern haircut, which most people...
Once you drive on a freeway and get a faux hawk, it's all over for you.
Yes, it's one of those haircuts everyone has positive associations with. It's if this was written today, it would clearly be a broccoli cut.
A broccoli cut.
But I just want to point that out. He was this is one of the 4 characters. She had an extremely suspicious interaction with him, and he was wearing a faux hawk. This will come up later.
This will come up quite astonishingly.
And our character is she's a bit of a mess. Her sisters are successful and hot, and she is living in a rundown apartment and walking dogs for a living, and her family's just a little concerned for her. So
she's a bit of a will-o'-the-wisp. She's a clown. She's a scamp.
That's right. She's the manic pixie dream girl. If she weren't super cute and didn't have that certain an infectious spirit or prospects, so she's I guess eliminate manic. You can eliminate pixie and dream. She's a girl. She's a girl. She works.
Well, her age is indeterminate. I have questions about that coming up. But
that's a good point too. I also had questions.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it ended with her having a confrontation at her mother's house with her sisters, who were giving her grief about getting her act together. We thought somewhat justified, and I think the next day she's preparing to go back, and in theory, this is the 4th time she is returning to the Pringles house, and I thought, well, of course, this will be the time she takes the owl out for a walk, as was requested to her by the dying woman. 4th time going to the house. We'll see if that happens.
The owl walker. She's going to walk it in an owl stroller.
Yes,
perambulator. If you're British. So she's complaining to her dog. She talks to her dog is her partner. I learned that kind of as you go along. You're like, wait a minute. She thinks she's partnering with the dog? She does. She complains about, she's like, remembering the visit with her mom and how they all ragged on her. And she says her one sister, she's doing something about genetic drift in a small population of lions in sub-Saharan Africa. This should be the book, obviously.
Yes.
It wouldn't maybe be as exciting as this one, but it would certainly be more, I think, enriching to everyone if we would learn about genetic drift in a population of lions in sub-Saharan Africa.
It is quite a choice to give one of the sisters a exciting, unique life and have the other one just sort of be a slob that no one in town really respects and doesn't have a lot going on. And that's the one that we're having a trilogy of books written about.
I'm a dog walker who doesn't really walk dogs, and occasionally I get an owl job, but I get fired before I even walk the owl.
I was dating a loser, but we broke up.
Oh, was his name something good? No, it was Carl.
I don't know how you get a cozy mysteries in the sub-Saharan Africa savannah with lion drift would be, I don't know, that probably is unexplored turf, so someone could get on there. There'll be 8 dozen of them by the time we do this next
Oh,
one.
it's already a series, I'm sure, with 4,000 5-star reviews.
At the rate I had returned to the scene of the crime, it was surprising no one had grown suspicious of me. That was when it registered on me that this is the 4th time she's going to the door to do this. And she's been paid, I think, $100 a week to take care of this owl and hasn't walked it yet. So the sweetest gig imaginable. Just what do they call it? Like the road crews that just sort of stand around, a make work gig, essentially.
Yes, yeah. A boondoggle. That's a clear.
So I don't know what she has to complain about. This is where you start keeping your mouth closed about murder and just collect that paycheck.
So then the very cozy, the deceased Doyen, can we call her a Doyen? Well, she's married, right? Does Doyen imply that you're divorced? Who cares? Okay. Anyway, the point is, her funeral is coming up. That's Mrs. Pringle, whatever. There are guests coming from all over Full Fork and even the state to attend. So wait, anything outside of Full Fork is called the state?
I think that's a little South African regionalism creeping into here of not knowing how. Hello, fellow New Yorkers. Is anyone else here from the state? I have just landed on your planet and would like to see Bridge of Brooklyn.
Oh, it's like my friend was in Paris and wanted to see, I don't know, like the Louvre or something. And so,
what an unreasonable request!
Said it to the taxi driver, and he's like, doing it completely. I do not understand. He's like, the Louvre? Nope, nothing. And then finally, the guy goes, the Louvre. And he's like, all right,
all right, yeah. Okay.
I'm from out of state. Sorry.
Yeah, so that's quite the guest list. They're coming from all over. This is New York, right? It's correct. Yeah. So that's all right.
So just to be clear, no one crossed the border.
Yeah. No.
But even
French and
the
tunnel people.
State. That's what they're like. Oh wow! I mean, someone from out of Full Fork.
Full Fork, which I imagine being, a Hallmark movie where there's a square and then there is the line of tourist shops and then that's it. But at some point in time, they like walk across town. There's like the other side of the tracks. So this is a bigger city than I imagined. So
yeah, she
coming
said
from
like
all over Full Fork is
right. The one area was like it was a 10-minute walk or something.
Yeah.
Like,
to get from one restaurant to another.
Yeah, so it's, bigger than, sure. Okay.
Yeah, they've got an arts district. They've got the skids. So she says we're not we're locking our doors. We never normally lock our doors, but we're doing that now because we have so many guests coming. They sort of break down. This woman keeps sort of bringing this up to people, being like, hey, so what do you think about the murder? And she's like, we've been over this, for God's sake. But she says, nope, I brought the cake up. The cook left it there. We were the only 2 people to do it. And Mr. Pringle wasn't there the morning it happened. So this is sort of her trying to sleuth out, since this is a mystery. And then she drops this reveal, which is incredible. She reveals that the cook is inheriting most of Mrs. Pringle's money. Obviously, Mr. Pringle has his own money and owns the house. Obviously, these wealthy couples who are in their 60s, I think, have separate bank accounts and only one of them owns the house they live in. Obviously. But Farah, the chef, has been given everything except for Olentine the owl.
Yes, that made me laugh that was like an afterthought. Like, is there anything else you can think of? No, I think we've covered. Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
The very obvious motive that I forgot to mention before. Also, by the way, she comes in and it's Delilah as the housekeeper and Ferris the cook, right?
Yeah.
And Delilah's like, oh, Ferris said she needs help because people are coming from out of, all over the state of New York. not just full fork. So she says, well, could you come with me? Do you think you could take a break? And she smooths her apron and goes like, yeah, it would be nice to get a little break from this nightmare. I'm like, we have hundreds of guests coming. You can't just leave. There's like 7 souffles in the oven.
Yeah, this staff of 2 trying to do this thing is not really going to suffice here.
And she's just like, oh, yeah, this would be great to just get out of here. I was like coming by someone's job at the, Ford plant, they're on the line. Like, hey, man, you want to grab some lunch? Like, sounds good.
Yeah. I mean, that sort of is the Law and Order staple, right, of going down to the docks and interrupting someone to grill them about the murder type of thing. But, yeah, so these people are, not only do they have a lot of work to do, they're also remarkably chill about their employer death, which was within 48 hours. I mean, maybe it's not one of those places where they were treated well, but I guess Farrah was treated very well. She's been left all the money. Right. But yeah, she does say, like, if anyone had motive to want to get rid of Mrs. Pringle, like, right over there, wearing the chef's hat.
So she's upset because has she already been fired? I can't remember whether that was in the previous thing, right? Where Mr. Pringle got all upset.
No, that's about to happen.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's why, because here's the reason why, because she says, I spent the better part of last night researching the laws that the state of New York had about owning owls. Wait a minute. Yeah. Sometimes you have to do a joke. You're like, I don't know, how much is gold right now? Like, I spent the better part of the night researching how much gold is. I just want to be in the ballpark. I don't really give a
right, yeah. On-air challenge right now to see how long it takes me to see if you can own an owl in Virginia.
I'm assuming
I'll take the better part of the podcast to do that. Oh, wait, it says no. You cannot own an owl as a pet in Virginia. That's
okay.
Okay.
So she spent the better part. So it's like watching someone where you're like, no, just click. No, just the URL. You don't have to backspace. Just
do not spell out HTTP. Oh my God.
You don't have to type that out. No, don't go to Bing. No, what do you? Oh God.
No, don't log into Bing. What are you doing? Also, it does seem that according to the Migratory Bird Treaty Act of 1918, it's illegal to not only own an owl in the U.S. but to possess owl feathers without the right permits.
Wow.
That's by a user on r/owls named Owl-esque. So that's if you can't trust them, what are you going to be able to do?
Facts King. Okay.
The better part of the night. That's incredible.
The better part of the night. Does that mean staying up? What does the better part of the night mean? I don't know. Anything over 6 minutes is like way too long. So whatever.
This might be one of the first bastardizations of the word researching as well, because it's like, all right, you did your own research. Yeah, Bing is what you did. She wasn't, dusting off books in the stacks, being like, hey, reference librarian, can you we closed 2 hours ago.
A woman with chain glasses, like, I brought everything I had on owl owning in New York City.
Yes.
You've exhausted them all.
I just need to find one that confirms what I need to know. All right. So, yeah, she knows that it's illegal, and she is determined not only to solve the murder, but to free the owl just because she's a animal person. So she has picked up that this owl is sad and needs to be freed. Yeah. They've owned the owl for at least a year. Can it survive in the wild? Who's to say? She needs to do some research about that, I would think.
Better part of a night spent doing that.
But she's essentially going to threaten this guy. Like, you release this owl or I'm calling the cops.
Right. So. Okay. So she confronts Mr. Pringle, right?
Well, she's about to, but she discovers a clue.
Oh, yes.
She discovers something on the skirting board by the window. A swatch of material that looked as if it had been ripped from a tartan shirt lay there. Right. I picked it up and turned it over. Was it from a shirt? Let's go back one sentence. If it looked as if it had been ripped from a tartan shirt lay there. I picked it up and turned it over. Was it from a shirt? I'm pretty sure that you've identified it very quickly as being from a shirt, but here we go.
It was pretty rough in texture. A synthetic fabric. Wait a minute. Who's making synthetic fabrics that are deliberately rough? Isn't the whole point? Like, I know they take like smart wool. They have to they bleach it with chlorine or something to get it to stop being so prickly.
Huh.
I think the whole point is to make it smoother so it's more synthetic.
I don't know. She bought it from hairshirts.com to do your penance in style.
Well, I just want to know, what synthetic fabric do they deliberately make pretty rough in texture? Well, guys, you'd probably sell a lot more of this if you just made it a little smoother. That's not what we do here.
Yeah. Bob's Crappy Fabrics is not about that. Well, oh, wait. Hey, but here's the next you got to keep reading. It was pretty rough in texture. A synthetic fabric. Was it a synthetic fabric? Oh, no, that's okay. That's not real. But then she spies another tiny piece of tartan fabric caught beneath the windowsill. Had someone climbed through here? The tartan fabric certainly hadn't come from the curtain itself. I wriggled my nose from side to side.
All right, this comes up later. I have many questions about this. The next time it's a little bit different, but in a way that is deeply confusing.
Okay, good. So we'll keep that in mind.
So wriggled her nose. I don't know anyone, but I think the witch from Bewitched could wiggle her nose. That was pretty much. I have never seen that.
Famous.
Do you know anyone that can do that?
I think about when you booted up Mario 64 and could drag his nose with the cursor and it would spring back to the thing. You could drag his hat up. That's all. I mean, my friend makes fun of me because I can't scrunch my nose.
Oh,
which we can't.
What do you mean? Like,
I don't really know. I think it's just sort of like a gesture of like, I don't know. I don't have muscles in my nose that can like retract it up a little bit. It's not important, but so I certainly can't wiggle my nose from side to side unless my whole head is moving.
Do you have tongue rolling competitions? Have you ever met someone who can't tongue roll?
I think so, but I saw someone recently who could do advanced tongue rolling, and that's
do it in every direction, like kind of twist it and then
rose. Yeah, off-putting.
Yeah, I can tongue roll, but I can't. Yeah. What is that? Do you know anyone who's double jointed?
I have a double jointed thumb, but it's not as impressive as like just doing the like one joint down on your finger.
My sister-in-law, she's like can do the thumb like on the back of the hand and turn her arm all the way over and everything.
Maybe she needs to start solving mysteries, and she can do that every time she sees a clue.
Yes. All right, so she wriggles her nose. Okay, so that's chapter 10 then comes, right?
Chapter 10 is going up to talk to Mr.
This
Pringle.
Is to finally, sorry, I got ahead of that, folks. It just stood out to me for a number of reasons.
It is something that happens in the book, so I could see why it stands out, because there's a lot more of just nose wriggling and peppermint stirring. She says about this, Mr. Pringle, last time we'd been around Mr. Pringle together, meaning her and her dog, he'd asked me not to bring the dog along. Was it wrong that made me suspect him of murder even more?
I would like to say, I have a lot to say about this.
Okay.
Because she says that he's mean. And then it's like, well, it's unclear whether he's mean because he's mean, but it's pretty clear that what she means is he doesn't like dogs, therefore he's mean.
Sure.
And I would just like to say, I have a couple things to say about that. First of all, when years ago we had Muslim neighbors who did not like dogs at all. Mm-hmm. And there were dogs in our neighborhood, and people would be walking them constantly, and these people would be like, I do not like dogs, was this woman. And I was very sympathetic. That's just a cultural and possibly religious thing. I don't know, right? But they're like, I don't like, why do you have a dog in your house? She wasn't mean in any way. She just preferred not to be in the company of dogs. And then I for a while lived in an apartment, and and it was dog friendly, and so people would have a dog on the elevator, and they would let their dog charge forward and just like put his or her nose in your crotch. And once a woman just let the dog do it, and I was like, I I'm having none of this.
Yeah,
I grew up with dogs. I love dogs. I don't have any problem with them, except when they're sticking their nose in my crotch. But she goes, no, little Johnson. Some people don't like that. Like an insult to me. Like, wait, so some people do like that? Some people are like, yeah.
Well, I hate to break it to you. I'm sure there are some people who do like that. So,
oh, damn it.
She's using she's on some forums.
Anyway, the point is, you don't have to, just because you don't like dogs, it doesn't mean you're mean. I just don't like that. But
I mean, no, I thought the same thing. It's like, so when you see someone who's like walking their dog through the produce aisle and the dog is sort of side-eyeing a vegetable to see if they could gnaw on a carrot or something, and you're like, I don't know if this is like sanitary, and they're like, oh no, he's fine. It's like, well, I was more curious about whether like everyone else was fine with it, let alone yours.
When my kids were little, we'd walk by, we lived near a lake, and we'd walk around this path, and there'd be people with giant dogs off leash. And I would go off the path and walk around them. They go, oh, really insulted. Like, he's a sweetheart. I'm like, it's not my job. It takes 1 second for him to crush my 2-year-old skull. I don't care. I'm not taking you at your word. I'm sorry. And they were very insulted. It was like, I like dogs. I'm fine with, but I don't want them killing my child. And then you would just be like, sorry, he's always been nice until now. Yep.
They walk around being like, I bet that guy's the Minnesota Strangler. That meant the fact that he didn't care for my enormous dog must mean
clearly makes me suspect him of murder even more.
I mean, I think that you can look back to, I remember the first time I ever heard about someone getting a fake service dog thing, and that was at least a dozen years ago. I think you could trace a decent decline of society to that moment, that sort of being the overarching, like, well, I want to do this and you can't ask me why I'm allowed to do it. Like being like the prevailing attitude of society is, I think that's sort of where people got the idea from. Mm-hmm. They're like, no, I need to have a Bluetooth speaker, the shittiest Bluetooth speaker you can imagine, blaring The Weeknd as tinny as possible as we're hiking into backcountry as I pass you on the trail. Like, and why? Because it's my emotional support Bluetooth speaker. It's like, all right, well, what are we going to do? I guess I'll hike faster.
Anyway, enough about that's my little rant about dogs. We had dogs my entire childhood. Don't get down on
me
dogs.
Too. But I don't have your dog. I had good dogs. None of this is admissible in court either if there is a murder as evidence that we committed the murder. Us bad mouthing dogs like this.
Yeah, look into his
parody satire.
Right. Look into his eyes. Look at those beady little eyes. It's like when they finally, like, the murder suspect on the front page of the paper or whatever, and you look at him and everyone goes like, yeah, he looks like a murderer. He just looks like a normal dude.
Yeah. Look at him repelling as the dog lunged towards his crotch. He clearly did it. I don't know. Yeah, if Sally was like, I don't know, Encyclopedia, Bugs doesn't seem to like that dog, Encyclopedia would be like, you need to do better. You need to find more evidence here. This is not going to work, lady.
That's not going to be the solution. And we're into really bad solutions here.
So yeah, she's sort of, he's testy immediately. I mean, one, his wife has died. Two, he's planning a funeral for someone he was about to divorce. Three, his wife left all the money to the cook. So yeah, you can understand this, but he's like, are you going to walk Allentine or not? Good question. Need I remind you that Roberta's last wishes was to have the Al care for appropriately? Okay, that makes sense. And so she comes up and she's like, she returns the money and says, I can't take this money. You're not allowed to keep this owl. Like, I need you to get rid of him. But like, and so he reacts poorly to this.
And then, I'm sorry, but this did make me laugh. Mr. Pringle's eyes widened at the accusation. He rose slowly from his chair, and I couldn't help noticing his pants. He wore a pair of tartan pants. He's like, hey, look, man, I'm going golfing later. Why are you stop staring? Stop staring at my I'm sitting back down. I'm sitting down. This is weird.
Yeah, I grieve my way and you grieve in your own. This was shocking for two reasons. First, the lack of fashion sense. So she does go for a joke. And second, the tartan swatch of fabric I found in the living room. Could it have come from Mr. Pringle's pants? Again, to reiterate, you did identify it as from his shirt and then question whether it came from his shirt one sentence later. So,
and then she began, like, smoothing the front of his pants. Like, this isn't rough at all. Would you please? You're not walking the owl. Then just get out. Stop smoothing my pants.
And that's how they fell in love. They bumped off the chef and took the money and lived happily ever after. We get some banter. She says, that's a strange pattern. Since when are you the fashion police, he asked. Since never. And since when are you the owl police? So, then, I mean, there is a chance that dialogue turns into them falling in love in a Hallmark movie.
I wrote about that one that you're not going to find those two sentences in any other book. I challenge you. I guess we could plug it into Bing right now and spend the better part of a night.
Nope, you're correct. There's no other book have those appeared in. Don't need the better part of anything.
Okay.
And so she's like, you need to release him. I'm calling the police. And he's like, we're rehabbing the owl. And she says, what didn't you take him in from an injured wing years ago? It's like, he hasn't recovered full wing capability and usage. And it's like, I don't know. That sounds like that could be very well true. You're walking him around in a stroller, so it doesn't seem like he's really like capable of going out and chasing down mice and voles.
By the way, do you have a Mr. Pringle impression?
Brother.
I mean, I assume when you read him, you have to kind of put it into some sort of, right?
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, did you ever consider that we are rehabilitating Olentine? You called me a scurvy little spider.
You once called me a warped, frustrated old man.
Yes.
Well, what are you, a warped, frustrated young man?
You once called my tartan fabric quite rough, Bailey.
You once stared at my pants. Well, what am I but staring at your pants? All right.
Yeah, so that's it, especially since he's sitting behind a desk and sort of brooding and
behind a walnut desk, wearing a green eye shade and counting his riches.
Or lack thereof, counting the chef has hired him to be her bank bookkeeper now to take care of the...
He's got a scale and the side for Farrah is like heaped up over the side.
And then we get some more, well, this isn't banter, but she says, Olentine isn't sick. He's depressed because you've got him cooped up, and I'm going to the authorities about it. Go for it, idiot.
I did not expect that out of Mr. Pringle.
Yeah.
I thought, you scallywag, you never do well. Go for it, idiot.
Yeah, second grade schoolyard taunts.
Mr. Pringle, please. I'm sorry, it's the tartan pants. I don't know, they make me dumber.
Yeah, you've got a doofus like you taking care of my owl.
Just you try. I happen to have friends in very high places. Friends who can make any type of problem disappear. You do well to remember that. This is from a guy wearing tartan pants.
Who just called a 22 or maybe 7 or 32-year-old an idiot.
Somewhere between 23 and 37 is my guess. I don't know.
How about this? I swallowed, lowering my gaze to his tartan pants again, if only to get some relief from his vicious stare. There weren't any rips in his pants that I could see. Perhaps around the back. I tried craning my neck. Stop staring at my pants, Mr. Pringle roared. Which, if you don't laugh at that, I don't know what you're doing reading these books along with us.
I did say that particular line was written by Adam Sandler, of course.
Stop staring at my pants.
Stop staring at the pants.
Want to touch the tartan. And so they just continue yelling at each other. Dixie, I think this is in fanfic. Dixie lunges at him because she's being so rude, and Dixie's biting the cuff of his pants and growling, and he's kicking at the dog, but the pants don't rip. So she surmises that means they were sturdy enough to crawl in through the window. Not sure why he would be doing that in the home he lives in, but they probably didn't rip, so they weren't his pants. Is the sleuth here at work?
And I'm sure you and all of our readers will have no problem understanding this phrase. Dixie flew into a rage at the cheek of the man. I'm sure no one read that as Dixie ran at the guy's actual cheek.
Yes, butt cheek and bit it like the copper-toned dog, but...
No, that is a phrase from South Africa circa 2021 or whatever this was written.
And he roared, "Stop staring at my pants." That's cheeky? I
guess that's cheek. I think he's the second person to roar in the book.
Okay.
I believe the other guy
The
jumped a foot in the air
roared?
and roared at the top of his lungs.
Oh, right, yeah.
So we'll meet him coming up.
Great. Well, her sister is studying genetic drift in lions, so maybe some of their genetics are drifting over to the human populace and it's causing them to roar.
Wow.
And so yes, he like says get the hell out of here. I'm not doing any of this. I have enough money that I can make you disappear because I'm rich, and so like whatever you're trying to do, don't bother because I'm not getting rid of the owl. Even though everyone says I hate it, and I seem quite annoyed with it at all times. I'm not willing to get rid of it.
And then he says, and this is maybe at this point I should not. I'm always holding out hope that everyone's the good guy, even though they're kind of painted. He says, and everyone knows, I'll try to say it in a nonchalant manner, see if I can say it so that I sound friendly. And everyone knows where their bread is buttered as well. Money makes the world go round. No, he probably said it. And everyone knows where their bread is buttered. Money makes the world go round. And then he produced from nowhere a Churchill cigar that was already half smoked, and he laughed. But he might be the good guy. I don't know.
Yeah, he's a good chase. He could be. I think this is the last we see of him, unfortunately, because it was amazing. And then he just retires to sit in front of the fire like the magnificent Ambersons, and you are dismissed, Owl Walker. Her reply to her rebuttal to "money makes the world go round," not in my world. To which just later that night you're just like sitting in bed, tossing and turning, unable to sleep. Not in my world. What the hell was I thinking? That was my comeback? God. Oh, I'm an idiot. I really am an idiot. He was right to call me an idiot.
That's the French phrase, the wit of the staircase.
Yes.
You're leaving and you're like, what did I really say?
I've got to go back to his house for the 5th time because now I've got the comeback ready to go.
He's like, what? I've already changed pants. What? You're back again? I fired you.
Now I'm wearing Zubas. Stop staring at them. I do not wear these ridiculous prints for you to stare at my pants.
Now I have 2 small clam diggers on. What is your problem with my pants? I don't understand. I have jodhpurs on. Yes, that's correct.
We go to chapter 11.
Yes.
Again, this is probably something that exists maybe in your colder climates, but her sister has she's dropped off the dog after a walk at the indoor dog park, which puzzled me. But I guess that's probably a thing that exists somewhere. Maybe it's a South African thing. And then she's talking about her mood. She says, "This wasn't the usual type of funk for me."
Yes.
At Christmas, I tended toward merry laughter, or caroling out in the streets for fun, or decorating Christmas trees, and chatting with May about what gifts I've gotten for everyone this year. Yeah, we haven't seen any of that. But I'm glad you tell us that that's usually what you're doing, because that would be quite Christmassy. Yeah, right now, you're clearly depressed and getting over a breakup and staying up all night, eating sweets and Googling things that are easily found in 5 seconds.
That's also like, are those the 2 poles? Like what is it, the DSM or whatever? The
Myers-Briggs type?
Right, like, what are the 2 poles of like bipolar? Well, one is You walk about laughing and caroling out in the streets for fun and decorating Christmas trees. The other is you harass guys in tartan pants and
I only noticed it when you reread it, but decorating Christmas trees. When is the last time in a year you decorated multiple Christmas trees? I'm just curious.
She left out like going to cabins with George Michael and skiing with him while he sings Last Christmas.
Receiving his heart, but then regifting it.
Yes.
Yeah, I just read about that and thought about just carolers. It's been a long time since carolers have come to my door, and I don't know if that would go well if someone tried to pull that on me these days. Just the door half opened. Am I supposed to come outside? Can I?
And how long do you have to like do? And you kind of do. You're looking at your watch. You're kind of doing the Joe Biden thing on your watch. Like, oh, we caught you. Look at it. Well, are you going to sing every verse of this one? Like,
yeah, it's.
What do I do? It's like you've been to you go to a Mexican restaurant and the wandering band. I was with it once where a guy I was with paid for the mariachi band to come over.
Unless you're making your exit then. That's...
And so then they like played 2 songs because I don't know, did he give them 20 or something? I don't know. And so you're just sitting there and like, do I eat? Do I wait till my enchilada gets cold? Like, what do I...
Deeply rude.
Then it ends and you just like... I guess. I don't know.
You. Yes, great.
All right.
Delightful. Didn't ask.
Yeah. Hey, there's the carolers are over there. Maybe they need an accompaniment.
I'm probably manifesting that it's going to happen now, but I am a dog person because I need some hounds to release if they do show up at my door. We get some more color about her home life too. She goes home, takes the stairs, opting for cardio instead of the elevator. Besides, this was an old building on the wrong side of town, and there was always a chance the elevator would stop working halfway up to my floor. It had happened before. So she lives in a death trap. The guy...
Well, she gives her money back for her walking service, so that seems like a foolish business choice, but, whatever.
As does not having walked a single dog in the entire book to this point. And she also says the worst thing about coming home for lunch wasn't just the fact that I usually had microwave dinners. So another just Lenny, don't tell anybody how I live kind of moments. Like, not just a quirky person who can't figure out too busy making kooky brooches to sell at the artisan fairs. Like, no, just coming home and nuking a hungry man, eating it in bed and.
And then that's when, his name is Mr. Sharnek.
Yes.
So it's like, he's kind of like a shark, which in a choose-your-own-adventure you'll never become. Don't ever try to become Mr. Sharnek.
You are Mr. Sharnek, the least popular choose-your-own-adventure at the book fair.
So I had already used the voice for Mr. Pringle, and now Mr. Sharnek, I don't know what to do.
Oh, I think we got to just do offensive ethnic accents. Is what we have.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was kind of like my Uncle Wally or something, just kind of a creepy, oily guy. But I don't really have a voice for that. Oh. But he has a toupee on.
You better not have that dog up there.
Yeah.
By the way, I took the batteries out of your smoke detector and I'm replacing those. Elevator might stop working any time. I'd recommend not getting in there.
I'm pretty sure, don't you? Like, you've been in elevators where the elevator inspector was just there, and he's like, you have to post this for like 10 days or something. So there's like a crappy thing taped to the wall, and you're at the Four Seasons or something. Like, what is this? So at this place, elevators, I don't know. You're on your own, man. We built it, put it in. Yeah. Is it going to work? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah. I've also I've padlocked every fire escape in here. I'm just trying to. I live in the Triangle Shirtwaist Heights. Like, is the name of this apartment building? That's an odd decision, Mr. Sharnek. Come on. I think the elevator certificate in the building we lived in Vermont, I'd be like, oh, like just tracking how long it was expired from like how long, being like, I wonder if they're up on this. Because, you know, whoever looks at those closely.
The inspector's like, really? I have to go across to the bad side of town?
Yeah, so what is the name of the town? Oh, Full Fork?
Full Fork.
Full Fork has a bad side. It's just the unexplored aspect of a lot of these hallmarky kind of towns.
She mentions no tracks between the two things, so there always has to be you're on the wrong side of the tracks.
Oh, right. Yeah, this is, well, sometimes that's sort of where the interstate came through in the 60s when they sort of did the, quote, urban renewal type of thing. So
that's true. Well, Mr. Sharnek, look, he's lovable. He's a weedy? I don't know what that means. Toupee watching me like a... And he says, where's
weedy landlord.
Weedy.
I don't know, just giving off clouds of weed smoke like Pigpen.
So he's like, where's that stupid dog of yours? He's a murderer, clearly, because he doesn't like dogs. Because, like I said, I'm deathly allergic to dogs. Deathly. You'd be liable for my death if I died of anaphylaxis. So I guess that's supposed to be a joke, right? The second person who has a deathly allergy?
I forget. She says recent events have proven that to be false. I don't remember why she thinks that that's true, but maybe it's from the first book. But yeah, I don't know. I'm allergic to dogs. I don't believe you. Here's a dog. I died. Oh, well, yeah, that has happened recently to someone else that I've actively investigated. So I guess that is on me. I mean, again, he owns this building. No dogs allowed. Oh, okay. Like our apartment building, part of the lease was you couldn't have bongs. Because I think they're so used to having college students and stuff. But like, it's like, you gotta, there were people like a decade older than me that lived here. It's like, at some point, this is quite humiliating, being like, sure, I won't have a bong in my apartment. Like,
we had a friend owned a building in St. Paul or something, and there's a lot of, this is years ago, Hmong people from the Vietnamese mountain people. There's a huge population in Minnesota. And someone below them in their apartment one day discovered there was a lot of moisture in the ceiling. And like, I hate to do it, but they went up and they had spread soil over the entire floor. They were farming in there and had the windows open and were watering the soil and harvesting the plant. So I don't know. You did if you don't put that on the lease.
Sure, right? Now it's in the lease as a boilerplate kind of thing. The addendum 13/G will be no bongs and or urban farming.
I wasn't planning on growing beans up here. Well, that's why it's in there. Good.
Yeah. So Mr. Sharnek is curious, but. She interacts with him, goes back in. She does say, I didn't have another dog walking client until tomorrow. Another?
And how is she paying for, like, what does that pay?
Right, exactly. I would venture $20 per job. So Mr. Sharnek is like, look, I can help you find more work if you need it. Like, I got some work you can do. Maybe just housekeeping around the apartment, like getting some of the vacant units in order. Like, no, I've got dogs to walk. It pays well.
Here's a line. She says this, I think. This was a small town, and barring death by cherries, I didn't have any safety concerns. You always see that. Do you ever watch you watch a crime doc or something like, this was a small town. Nothing bad ever happens here. It's like, it's pretty much everything you watch is in a small town. People doing opioids and like murdering each other and chopping their bodies up in bathtubs. Like, yes, there is. It's just you have a smaller population. So it just, if you translate that to a larger population.
Yeah, what's gonna cause a lot of these like crimes and issues? Probably poverty. So like, does that not exist in these quote unquote small towns? Like, I beg to differ.
I just found that funny. Like, no, we're fine. She already said I'm on the wrong side of the tracks over here. This place is a shithole.
Yeah, let's set the whole book here.
Perfectly safe.
Let's venture into your building like Only Murders in the Building and see what other seedy weedy characters live in here. Yeah, so but she just drops that as a concern about barring death by cherries, which in her, maybe it's like the White Death from the last book we read, where the special ops guy shoved the snow down your throat. That's the only way that a normal person could die by cherries, I guess. So that would be kind of fun. Didn't have a dog walking client until tomorrow, and then she gets a call on the intercom from the detective. Who wants to take her out to lunch. Don't even think we mentioned that, but the love interest is the local detective. And she just, for some reason, is like in just the middle of her depressive, Kathy, comic strip Kathy episode. So she's like, I'm not even going to go, even though this guy's a hunk. She says, I'll take a rain check.
But she does say, I think a lot of people in our books have near medical conditions. My heart rate was skyrocketing. How old are you? Like,
well, she took the stairs for cardio, she said.
I guess. So a guy comes to your door and is like, hey, do you want to go out for coffee? Like, what?
Yeah, that another thing happens later as well, interacting with this guy, that really made me question how old she was, because her interactions with men in this book do seem to be a 11-year-old, sort of just at the school dance type of thing, where someone's like, do you want a slow dance? And it's just like, I'm not.
Yes.
And she was engaged, so I don't know. Maybe that's how the relationship with Carl was as well. I don't know. I just have the note, our protagonist is unwell, because she says, I cringed and ran my fingers through my hair. I needed to talk to somebody, just not a man. And not Ma, because it would stress her out. Certainly not my sisters. Like, you are the top suspect on most people's lists, I would say. She kept to herself. She didn't want to talk to men. She was like walking with her head down, muttering about cherries all the time.
So then, who is her best friend? It's May.
Oh, right. The only other character we've been introduced to. Got it.
I thank this book sort of privately for not just including a bunch of characters who I was then supposed to know about.
Yeah.
Then, I thumbed through my list of people I could call. Was it Jerry? No. Ron? Ted? Tabitha? Betsy? Damn it. No, let's call May.
It does seem to be a component of these type of books that I sort of regret this one didn't indulge in. Because
yes.
If she had just listed off like all the people, because she doesn't have a club, I guess, and that's probably where a lot of those happen. You either own a business or both belong to a quilting guild. So
it's really the ninth in the series, and so you've already introduced these characters. But also, I thought of this as like there's a thing when you're doing theater. And then they ask, hey, could you rewrite your play and have 8 characters instead of 30? Because we're a small regional theater. And a lot of authors are like, well, I'll probably sell a lot more. Sure, I'll do that. I'll combine characters. So she was like, you could see this being done by a small regional theater.
Yeah, she's setting herself up for theatrical success with this cast list.
We're not made of actors here. Come on, let's keep it to 6.
Can you rewrite the hairstyle? No one really wants to get a faux hawk just for this production, and especially not around the holidays. It's fine. Broccoli cut it is.
The costume designer down at Ragstock looking for tartan pants. $2. Wow. That's half the budget,
though. Yeah. So she is calling May and going to meet up with May in the next chapter. She says, I feel like we haven't talked in weeks, May said. I don't know how long this book has been going on, but I think just a matter of days. So May just must be so busy with all the takeout orders at her
at
pet
May
cafe.
Pet.
That things really stack up.
Yeah.
The days blend together.
So May stops over to her place because she's, well, as it turns out, she's a homebody.
She's bedridden.
a dog walker who's a homebody, but whatever. May comes in and she's got a box and she says, Christmas donuts on the house. She brought her a box of donuts. It's just the two of us here, man.
Right.
It's not a busy, bustling office where everyone's going to run through and go, ooh, donuts.
Yeah. I really shouldn't. Oh, fine, 3. If she is going full Kathy or Liz Lemon, that's sort of what needs to
one
happen.
on each finger, eating them off of them.
Lay off me, I'm starving. Her response to Christmas donuts on the house, no cherries, I hope. No indication. I joked or I said sassily. May gave me a look. So it's like, why would you say no cherries? Of course there's cherries. You're not allergic to cherries. It's fine for you to eat a popular fruit.
That's true.
And it's like, these are donuts. There's nothing resembling actual fruit in any of these. Maybe there's some jelly, strawberry jelly in some of them, but...
And then May is like, I spent the better part of the night looking up cherry allergies. There's no such animal. It's a deathly cherry. At most, it'll cause a slight tightening of the throat. So,
Right. You settle down. These are free, by the way. I could be charging you for this. She goes over everything that's going on with her life. She bears her soul to this woman. May didn't judge me for any of it. She ate her donut, pausing to dab with a paper napkin she'd brought with the box of donuts and nodding once in a while. So I guess this does time out sort of well for like May was doing this like every so often. She was doing the weird was that a dance move from 7 years ago?
I believe so. And then that's one of those that translated to children pretty well, right?
Yes.
So every kid like hands in their final and then dabs.
Yes. Either that or it was like she's one of the weirdos who you get a slice of pizza and they dab the grease off before it, and it's like, I don't think you need to reduce your calorie intake here by 2 from getting that grease off of here. But I think it
part of the reason we buy the pizza. Whatever. Let's not get into that. That's probably like, there's a forum where everyone's calling each other Hitler over that.
Yeah. Oh, dabbers and knots. Like,
oh God, you put a napkin on your pepperoni. Ugh. I picked up my donut and took a bite. It was utterly scrumptious with a peppermint caramel filling. I've never heard of peppermint caramel.
No,
it seems like something you make up to be cozy. Even at my peppermint cake baking, there was no peppermint caramel anywhere to be seen. So.
It does seem like two things that are sort of the opposite of peanut butter and chocolate. Be like, oh, these really bring out the best in each other. It's like, wow, these don't go together at all.
Yeah, what is the thing like come up with the 2 most incongruous things you can is like a little party thing, like blue cheese and grapefruit, would be disgusting kind of. Well,
the one that Lauren got obsessed with for a while was a triangle where all 2 things would go together with each other, but combined into the 3, they wouldn't go well together.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, we could never solve it. And I don't know if it was something that someone claimed to have solved, but it was just I don't know if it would have to be something that would create an actual chemical reaction or something, because otherwise it doesn't seem like it actually would happen. She does. She when she's asking, May is sort of like, "Why are you so depressed?" Holly chewed on the inside of my cheek and responded, "'Cause I'm a homebody." It's like, can you be a homebody if you live in a depressing Mr. Sharnek apartment where the elevator breaks down? You sort of have to have a nicer spot to really be a homebody, I'd say.
She's one of those that, like, she lives in such a rough place. She probably has a broadsword by the door. Have you? There was years ago. There was a video of a guy who's like, "You never know who's coming to your door. You better have one of these babies." And a broadsword. Anyway, so she chews on the inside of her cheek. Sorry, a lot of mouth abuse in our crappy books. I've noticed that. I think the last one, people were like biting she bites on her lips, chews, does this. A lot of nose touching and twitching and
nose wiggling, eyebrow wriggling.
But then she says, she's talking to May, and she says, "I smiled at her between chews." So donut or cheek at this point?
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Same word, similar action. Which chew? Are you like chewing on your cheek?
Chewing on your cheek is that's body horror. That's the substance right there. But smiling between chews of donuts is also kind of gross too. It's like the old "Do you like seafood?" 8-year-old joke, and then giving her a nice view of your chewed up food in your mouth. In between all the chewing and recapping the details of the case, which he does for possibly the 9th time so far, they say the cook and the maid have different stories. Why wouldn't they have realized something was up unless they didn't tell him those stories, May said, in which case you have to ask yourself why. Right. I wriggled my nose from left to right.
I have a lot of questions about this one.
No, yeah, hit us with them.
Well, she wriggled her nose already, right?
Yes, upon discovering the tartan pants.
I wriggled my nose from left. So if you're wriggling your nose, isn't it going from left to right and right to left? If you're wriggling?
Yes.
So wriggling, so she only did one movement of her nose? Which then isn't wriggling, correct? That's just doing, like, ugh. Then you would do a weird motion and people would be like, ah.
Yeah, it's like you're snapping your nose back into place as a boxer or something.
If you only went one direction, but if you're wriggling it, of course, it is going to go from left to right if you're wriggling it, but it's also going from right to left, right? Unless I don't understand what wriggling is. Is wriggling just one motion?
Well, so, I mean, wriggling's one thing. I would say, like, I can sort of wiggle my ears, which, they go back and forth.
Oh, you can. I can't.
You don't wriggle your nose back to forth, because then they are permanently in the fourth position.
That's
or
what
back.
I mean.
So now her nose is just sort of
she shifted her nose over, so like a Picasso painting, I guess.
Yeah, a painting that the nose follows you wherever you are in the room.
I'm not even sure what that is trying to mean, wriggling your nose. Is it just supposed to be like, look, hey, idiot, I'm adorable. Just shut up and just deal with it. Right? I assume that's what it means. Like, I wriggled my little nosy nose after eating my little scrumptious donut.
I'd prefer that you never do that voice again.
Yeah, I really came out with a lot of bitterness there. I didn't mean it to be that bad.
Machi. That's a Brendan Fraser, we're going to get you all fixed up, little girl, from the other line of Extraordinary Measures.
I'm going to get you the message or something. That one you can't even find on YouTube, so good luck with that one. Anyway.
I don't know. Wriggling the nose. It's if anyone has a video of themselves able to replicate this gesture, that seems like maybe there's room for you on America's Got Talent or something like that, because it's like a Cirque du Soleil kind of move. Like, I'm going to take my move it from left to right, and it will stay there. Like, great. Maybe you have like that woman who could make her eyes bug out of her face from the 90s. Like, she got to add in a jam commercial or something.
Yeah, and he's on, America's Got Talent, and then puts on like or pulls out the bagpipes. It's like, oh no, Simon Cowell, like, oh, I hate this. This is going to be awful. And then that's just a ruse, and like, oh, his nose. Oh! They all applaud and stand, and the crowd goes, yeah.
There's a couple videos of, like, there's a kid who, like, at the talent show just, like, dramatically enters and then flips a water bottle and the whole crowd goes nuts. And as of late, there's the person who can hit the drum beat and I Will Always Love You.
Yes.
That thing. And then the whole gym goes nuts if someone just walked out into the middle of it and just, like, the Job music from Arrested Development playing, and then they look up, wriggle their nose once from left to right, and just, like, gets carried out of the gym by the rest of the high school. That would be amazing. All right, so upon wriggling her nose, May takes this time to reveal this after this whole discussion and donut eating, etc., that she's heard that the maid Delilah has been hanging out with shady characters.
So, people who would live in your building,
Yes,
that
exactly.
kind of shady.
Yeah.
Like where the elevator doesn't work and Mr. Sharnek's toupee is just a little too greasy.
Yeah, what's he building in there, Mr. Sharnek? And she says, apparently there are shady characters. There's a couple of new people in town for Christmas, and she's been hanging around with them. They've been seen meeting quite frequently. Wonder what means of transportation they got into town by. Wonder what sort of conveyance they traveled on to get here. A local road, perhaps? A rural route? Nah, the interstate.
Damn you, interstate. And then she says, Well, where have you heard these? Because come on, it's a small town, I guess, even though it's kind of a big town. But so she's heard this. She's been hanging out. She's been, her and Scott Farkas are like walking down alleys and harassing people.
Flipping butterfly knives, yeah.
Yeah, doing that. And then she's like, whoa, where did you get this clearly reliable information? She says, I heard it from Lucinda at Brixton's Bakery. So she's recommending a rival baker? Does she make boxes of donuts there? Because I could use another box. I've already pretty much polished this one off. All of them scrumptious, but pony up with more donuts, lady.
Yeah, your first instinct has to be the rival baker is feeding you false information to either throw you off the trail or embarrass you and make your business have to close down. Maybe while you're out delivering donuts to your homebody friend, Lucinda's there depositing, cat crap in the flour sack to try to get you shut down for a health code violation. That'd be, again, a much more interesting cozy mystery than what we're actually served up.
Putting pies out back and killing dogs so that she can... Lucinda at Brixton's Bakery is like spreading these rumors about the maid seeing strange people. But is it Lucinda Brixton, or does Lucinda just works there?
I believe she's the proprietor, but she's also the main server. So who knows? It's a small town, but as we learned, it is a larger small town, and these businesses are far enough away from each other that. I was just about to say maybe Lucinda's Bakery is not pet friendly, but it is. It is. I think they explicitly say that. So
yeah, she brings the dog in. So I'm not sure what the difference between May Pet Cafe and Brixton Bakery is.
Yeah, my town couldn't even support 2 taco shops, so it's one just closed down. One independent one tried to take on a local chain, and they just got buried. So. I'm not sure. I think I see good tidings for this town supporting 2 adorable bakeries.
I used to walk past a place that was like a small appliance repair.
Nice.
On a place where there's like Adidas and there are lots of big chains and stuff, and then there was just this guy up and just one guy obviously in the back. It's like I walked in with a toaster once just to say, how much are you pulling out of this deal? Like, well, that'll be $11 and I'll have it for you on Tuesday. Like, you can't be making the rent here, buddy. You just can't be.
Well, that's when you see the shady characters back in the loading dock out back and realize he's got something going on the side.
That's true. You're clearly laundering money through this place.
They say that Lucinda from Brixton's Bakery will text Holly the next time Delilah shows up with the shady characters.
Okay. Shady characters.
Shady characters. That is emphasized. Yes, do keep that in mind. Because something tells me this author might not have remembered that that's how they were identified as she moved forward.
All right, chapter 13.
Chapter 13. This, they quickly get a notification that there is a shady character meeting happening.
Oh, they do? I thought we would have to wait around at her apartment with, Mr. Sharnek serving her an omelet and
her sitting through multiple commercial breaks on the ad-supported version of Hulu as she watches some Drek.
But she says, so she's headed there with, so I guess she goes by her ma's house, Ma, that's her official name, to get Dixie, right? Because Dixie's not allowed.
Yes.
But so Dixie lives at Ma's place.
Yes, I guess this is the next day, perhaps. But it's,
it's soon, but the dog doesn't live with her, so... I'm assuming it's like a 30-mile drive out to Ma's place to go get the dog.
Right, because it's not Ma doesn't live on the wrong side of the tracks.
No.
Or the rough part of town.
So she puts on her warm booties and her doggy slippers to to Dixie, not to herself. And then says, Christmas was literal days away, and the town was still tense. The town was tense? The entire town?
Gotta get some structural engineers in there. That doesn't bode well at all.
No.
Is that on a fault line or something?
It was tense over the fact that Mrs. Pringle was going to have the celebration? And where is it being held, by the way? Because it's such a huge town. Like, I'm sure that's a contention. Like, is it going to be held over at Fermi Lab, you know, where they have the grounds? Or is it going to be at the town, the old town, you know, the downtown? Or is it going to be at the new downtown? Or is it going to be by the old high school or by the new high school?
Everyone's so tense is because Mrs. Pringle wanted to have it in the rough part of town. And people were like, well, this isn't going to go well. This is...
No. The elevators there don't even work. What do I...
I like that they're tense, despite the fact that this woman died, and it was very quickly ruled an accident. I mean, it wouldn't be great if someone in town died from eating something, but it's hard to imagine it would keep the town tense. I'd be a lot of people would be like, "Hey, is it all right if we just like continue to move on with what we were planning to do, and give my kid the train set I bought for him because I didn't really know her that well."
No,
how long do I have to be tense? Like
you should stay tense. Like,
okay,
hey, this is a small town. I haven't been locking my doors. Oh, you should. You should really start doing that.
Start locking that. But really, because all she choked on. I'm not allergic to cherries, so even if someone were to break in and put cherries into my Christmas cake, not great, not sanitary, but it wouldn't affect.
Remain tense, my friend. Remain tense.
And so she is going into the cafe. She entered on a cold wind and a swirl of snow, to which I have to just issue a strong settle down to that occasional reminder that it is, in fact, the Christmas season. But it keeps going. The interior of Brixton's smelled like heaven. Baking cakes and specialty breads, freshly brewed coffee, and the slight scent of pine, thanks to the Christmas tree that had been erected in the corner of the room. Lights twinkled along the back wall, and soft Christmas music played through the stereo.
That's where I would issue the firm settle down. Yeah. Also, specialty breads. Famously, we did a short once way back in the day for Mystery Science Theater that it was all about, like, you really got to push the specialty breads. And we did a brief sketch. It was about, what is a specialty bread? And the only thing we could think of was, like, a bread that was really sharp on the end that could kill someone. It's very specialized.
Oh, you're getting a stabbing loaf, yeah.
Yes. So really, gentlemen, really push those specialty breads. I don't know what a specialty bread is, but I was thinking about, like, if she walks in and it's like, Brixton smelled like a Subway store. Like, I wanted to vomit immediately. How does their bread smell shitty? How is that possible? Bread always smells good. Not here, buddy.
We've cracked that code.
Yes.
I'm not sure what the specialty breads would go for, but maybe that's what sets Brixton's apart from May's Dog Cafe. Is
the May Pet Cafe? Yeah.
Sure number of specialty breads.
That could be.
And so here we go. Remember that this is a woman who fancies herself a detective, an amateur sleuth. She's already solved one murder in a book we haven't read. But here's her sizing up the situation. This is Columbo here. I smiled at a couple of familiar faces as I moved through the bakery toward a table nearest Delilah's. I couldn't make out who she was sitting with, but they had blonde hair that looked awfully familiar. Hadn't I seen that faux hawk style somewhere before? I just want to refresh everybody's memory that she last episode wrote a journal entry whereupon she listed the 4 suspects of this potential murder, 3 of which either live or are employed in the house she was there. One guy who she bumped into, the sole notable feature about him was that she had a faux hawk, and now she's just racking her brain as to where she might have seen this before.
That was unbelievable. And then, like, what if he had, he was wearing tartan pants? Where have I seen those before? It was a mystery. She also, look, we're paid to be petty at certain points, right?
Yeah.
Where had I seen that before? No question mark on it. So,
Okay.
I believe that warrants a question mark, unless it was just a statement, but I don't think it was. Anyway.
So she, Lucinda, the proprietor of, I forget what the name is, Brixton's Bakery, comes on over. As an aside, Holly says that the last time Dixie hadn't liked a server, she'd bitten down on his pants leg. So she is bringing a dog into public establishments that has attacked strangers before.
Yes.
I wonder, that server, though, in defense, maybe he was a murderer, too. So.
Oh, yes. Didn't like, yeah. I'm sure Dixie saw that right away. I did want to say, this reminded me, by the way, bitten down on his pants leg is, I mean, that's obvious lawsuit, right? You're the owner of the dog.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we had a dog, and it once, I was like, I guess I was I didn't know I was teasing it. I thought I was playing with it, and it bit my cheek, and then I stood up like in horror, and the dog was attached to my face. My parents were like, I don't know, I don't really like this dog. Then it bit a neighbor kid, and I remember the thing where like the parents of the neighbor kid came over, and then I went to school, and I came back, and I was like, hey, where's Fluffy? They're like, well...
We were willing to tolerate it attacking you, son.
Yes,
However...
You were expendable. However, lawsuits will lose the house.
So, your dad made you chuck it into the pig pen and they devoured it in front of you?
Yes, and like, smile, son, smile. This is fun.
I can't smile. It bit. My cheek muscle is shredded.
My cheek is still healing.
I can't chew on it anymore. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Attacking dogs. So again, this woman not only is doing the thing where she says everyone likes my dog when I bring it everywhere, but it is workers going about their minimum wage job who are just trying to pay the rent. But so Lucinda comes over and she says, I'll take a coffee and how about a slice of cake? Christmas cake? Lucinda asked, wiggling her eyebrows. Chocolate. Would you like cherries with that? More eyebrow wiggling. No, sorry, more eyebrow wriggling.
So she wiggled and then wriggled. Is there a difference?
I don't know if there's a difference, but Lucinda's having a great time with this murdered woman,
And she's sitting next to the maid and the strange guy with the faux hawk, right?
I mean, she's like observing them. So the faux hawk has his back to her, so I'm not sure how close, but close enough, yeah.
I mean, how big is Brixton Cafe?
Brixton's Bakery, yeah.
Is it Is it like what is it, the Dumont or whatever in New Orleans, where they?
Oh yeah.
You get a beignet and chicory or whatever.
So it's like an hour and a half. Yeah.
No, I suspect it's very small. The door tinkled on the way in. There was Christmas music playing. It smelled heavenly. It's small.
It's a small town bakery.
So, like Mr. Faux hawk, like the wriggling actually causes him to turn around. Like I sense something. Like, why is this person wiggling and wriggling behind me? Stop it!
Hold on, stop! Someone just said cherries. Our cover's blown. She blurted it out as a joke. I mean, wow, like sort of insensitive, I would say. Like,
and then she says it again. The guy with the blonde faux hawk. Gosh, it was so familiar.
Something about it. I believe it's been 48 hours, correct? Like, this murder is within the past 3 days for sure. So she bumped into that guy soon after.
She said she had to solve the murder. Like, in his hand was a gun. There was still smoke coming out of the barrel, and there were powder stains on his hand. Gosh, that looked familiar. Where have I seen that before?
Yeah, the Memento guy, Cozy Mysteries. He just lack of object permanence, Claus. But she keeps going. She's observing them. Delilah wasn't drinking her mug. The guy had ordered a slice of cake but hadn't touched it. Come on, turn around. Show me your face. If I could just get a glimpse of it, I might be able to place him. Faux hawk! Big city haircut. Like, what? My God. Encyclopedia Brown would have just smacked her across the face by this point in time.
And then, so they have a little contretemps in public. They don't get along, and he like throws $2 on the table like he's Frank Sinatra, and she's a reporter in Vegas or something.
Yeah.
Kids. And then zipping up his coat and affording me the briefest glimpse of a shirt underneath, a picture of an owl peeked out at me, then disappeared. At this point, I was like, oh, please be unrelated, please. Just like he bought it on Woot, like didn't know what it was. It was like a band.
Free Owl Moon shirt.
Long since been defunct.
It says, oh, really on it. Like,
yeah, but unfortunately it does come up again. But I was like, oh, please, just be a red herring.
I like, she describes it as, when he turns around, the guy had turned and instant recognition fired off in my brain. I'm going to quibble with instant being anything here in terms of how this recognition happened. But
instant when he took a picture of himself and then threw the Polaroid on her table, and then he was like, oh, right. Instantly recognized the photo of him.
She's finished her coffee and cake instantly. Yeah, so it is, she remembers his name as being Bobby, who says that was the son-in-law at the house. And now she realizes that that's the case and goes to go talk to Delilah, the maid, about the guy that she just had the argument with.
So shades of Dan Brown here, because chapter 14 is in the same location as chapter 13.
Correct,
and
yes.
In a continuous time. I believe there is no time elapsed between the two. One of my favorite things in writing.
Yeah, I guess he just thought that was dramatic enough to warrant you putting it down for the night and resuming it the next day. She goes over to the maid's table, says, hey, I'm Holly. I'm sure you've heard that Mr. Pringle fired me as Ollentine's keeper. And the maid, I assume, was like, oh, is that because you never took it for a walk in the entire time you were employed as the... But then she goes on to describe, she's like, oh, I didn't know that you knew Bobby, Mr. Pringle's son-in-law. And she's like, what? Like, that's impossible. The Pringles don't have any children other than Ollentine, and they call him their feather baby.
Ugh. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't have a stomach full of donuts and Christmas cake at that point, because it would have all come up.
Did Mr. Pringle call him the feather baby? Or that doesn't seem like that was really a term in his vocabulary. I'm guessing that was just one of them who called it their feather baby.
Grab the owl stroller and take our feather baby for a walk. I better count my money.
Feather baby just dropped a massive owl poo on the carpet again.
You idiot.
And so she reveals that the guy is not Bobby. His name is Franklin Roberts, and he's a member of the Owl Protection Society, which I think only today I realized that he had a shirt on that said OPS. Yeah. When they bumped into each other. He's been sending Mr. Pringle a lot of threatening texts and messages lately, telling him he has to let Ollentine go free. So it's just sort of something that... you might have mentioned to the police, been like, my wife just died, poisoned. I didn't do it. I've been getting a lot of threatening texts and messages.
Does your wife have any enemies? I don't think so, idiot. No. The OPS made me laugh really hard because, unfortunately, their trucks are brown. Like an owl, they're always carrying packages of owl food to people's doors. They have like brown hats on that said OPS on them.
Oh, honey, the package we arrived is here. It's our daughter's... Oh, no, it's just those owl people again. Damn it. Why are they still wearing shorts?
You have shorts on, and he's super handsome. What's going on?
So she says essentially that they were going to nab it. The first time you took it out of the owl stroller, we were going to come by in our disguises and snatch it out of the owl stroller. That was how we were going to free him. But you never took it out on a walk, so we couldn't do it.
All right, throw that in my face again.
And it does mention that it says he's not from Full Fork. He's down here as a member of the OPS. Apparently, they heard about the Pringles through some online forums, and somebody reported them for owning an owl in New York. So he's from the rest of the state, I guess, is how she described it earlier.
And so she's like, okay, well, where is he staying? And keep in mind, she didn't recognize him, though he had jumped a foot in the air when she tapped him on the shoulder and screamed or roared as loud as a human could possibly roar, and then fell on his ass in front of her. And she's like, does not ring a bell. I'm sorry.
So conventional interaction, I've had many like that. Who's to say which guy that would be?
So she's like, okay, well, where is this guy who now has two names? What is it? Franklin?
It was Bobby, but now he's Franklin Roberts.
I like when people get two names, and then all of his friends call him by both of his names at all times. Like, hey, look who's here! It's Franklin Roberts.
Oh yeah,
guys, you can just call me Frank. Like, no, hey, Franklin Roberts. He's at the Fork and Knife Guest House. Delilah said he gave me the details in case I ever needed to catch up with him. So, does he work full-time at the OPS? And can he expense his stay?
Yeah.
At the guest house? At the hotel?
Some big grant money? I don't know.
Or is he doing this on his own? Does he have... So, in other words, he drove down here to free a snowy owl.
Yeah, and then the mission changed, and he's extended his stay. These fancy guest houses around Christmas time, they really jack up the rates. Like,
that's what I was thinking. Like, who's paying for this? And, like, does he have a job? Or is he one of those... Maybe he's an expense account kid or something. Like, his parents are like, what's he doing now? I don't know. He's, like, saving owls or some crap.
Yeah, but this seems like, Greenpeace dirtbag kind of thing. Like, living out of a van and... liberating this type of thing. That's not a paid gig.
Yeah, I went to the ice machine at the Fork and Knife Guest House. There was this other really stinky guy there with a clipboard with like plastic. I don't know. He tried to make me sign something about owls. Yeah, that's Franklin Roberts.
Yeah, unclear about all of that, but also just like what forums? Where are these rumors about the owl originating onto the Owl Protection Society forums? Forums also plural, yes. So there's more than one owl forum where this has originated. But
so I guess was Mrs. Pringle on the forums like active?
Bragging about her owl? Yeah, maybe
my feather baby. Hey, DM me, man. I don't like this lady.
So, yeah, he's sort of, initially you're like, oh, he must be the good guy. But he was sending him threatening texts and messages. But I guess Holly also threatened him that she was going to go to the cops. It wasn't like, I'm going to kill you. It was like, maybe I'll go to the cops type of thing. So
yeah, that's true.
Our hero has also threatened him.
Right.
Well, as it moves to the next chapter is where we start to get the layout of the town that we were questioning earlier.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
The touristy section of town where it was easy to access local restaurants. I guess it's harder if you're from the other part of town. An old Tyne Hill, one of Full Fork's main attractions, along with its museum, an open museum, I guess. It was about 10 minutes walk from Brixton Bakery. So there you go. If someone wants to make a map of Full Fork, I wouldn't say no. I'd love that.
Yeah. So Brixton Bakery clearly has to be in a different part of town than May's Pet Cafe. And Brixton Bakery is a 10-minute walk, so, a half a mile at least from the Knife and Fork Guest House in the touristy part of area. So Brixton Bakery is not depending on any tourists with its Christmas getup and wafting peppermint scent?
I guess it's not considered a local restaurant, I guess. Because
the other place has Point Break, locals only?
Yeah.
I don't know. But as she walks Dixie, we get this just great detail that really puts you into the mindset of the the whole season. I think we're on to something, don't you, Dixie? I asked, clasping the end of Dixie's new red lead. It was Christmas themed. She moves on.
I did want to know, like, which card did you put that on? And you're bankrolling that, like, because you don't have any money.
Right.
You can't afford a good place, but you could afford a new Christmas lead for Dixie?
Yeah, you have seasonal dog accessories.
How much was that?
Maybe they're sort of the dog walking business is just a write-off haven for all these new dog accessories.
She got it from Temu. She was like, it was 39 cents on sale, but I had to pay $20 in shipping.
It snaps as soon as he sees that waiter that he hates, and he bites her because it's so shoddily made.
Oh, now I got another lawsuit. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, so, she really thinks that. She says this when they're walking along. She's got the new lead on. She says, "Unless we'd missed something along the way." So she really does think that her and the dog are solving the mystery.
Okay. Oh, weed. Yeah.
Weed. She clearly thinks both of them are equals in this.
Well, the dog's sort of the muscle of the operation. He's the one that, works you over to get the confession out of you, I think.
True.
The Fork and Knife Guest House, as with almost every other place in Full Fork, the guest house was pet friendly. Full Fork was all about pets, food, and holidays. God.
I just wrote, sewage system? Garbage. It's a wreck. Infrastructure in ruins. Bridges are unsafe. Roads are just
City Hall corrupt as hell.
Yeah. Taxes are extremely high, but there's only one cop, and he's handsome but terrible.
The mayor's embezzlement trial is open to the public and quite pet friendly if you want to attend.
Somehow Filthy Filson is the mayor.
But it's just it's a type of person who's just like, oh, and then we went to this place, it was also pet friendly, and I'm like, yeah, they're humoring you so you'll come and spend money there. They don't like your dog. They would have no dogs in a second if it made them more money.
Yes. Hey, little guy, can I get you a bowl?
Our brewery is family friendly. Like, places used to be like Moe's Tavern. Now it's. Anyway, I'm projecting. And so at the Knife and Fork and Knife Guest House, yes. She goes up to the guy. She sort of says, "Hey, I'm looking for Franklin Roberts." And instead of being like, I clearly don't give out guest information.
Yeah, we can't. This is
strangers.
Privacy issue.
Plus, he's checked in as Ron Mexico or Carlos Danger. He's on an illegal operation. He's not checking in under his real name. She's like, oh, sure, he's down the hall in the Peppermint Room. God.
Yes, the Peppermint Room. So I looked it up. There are 8 references to peppermint.
No, there has to be 3 dozen at least.
There are peppermint itself. I think 6 references, but I believe like candy canes.
Candy
come
canes,
up.
Sure. Yep.
So I didn't search both, but I think it's like 8 or 9 references.
Well, the spirit of it just pervades the whole book.
It is very pepperminty.
Carried in on the wind. Peppermint Room's across the street from the 3-day-old garbage you forgot to take out room. The cilantro room.
But yeah, he's there on a secret mission to take someone's owl and or murder them with cherries. And he's just checked in under his own name. Yeah. Right? Like if you're Steven Tyler, like in every town, like, my name is Tide Detergent here, right? You have to know like the secret code.
Yeah, it's well known that people do that athletes do that. I don't know. The Owl Protection Society is not up to some of these tasks.
OPS, sorry.
So she walks down to the Peppermint Room, knocks on the door, and the thing happens where she knocks on the door and it like opens up because the door is slightly ajar. So yeah, this guy's a terrible covert op. And she just goes on in and starts snooping around.
Why does this happen in like every movie and book where someone is just like, hello? And then the door is open and you can't go in. I believe that crossing the threshold, this is now B&E. You can't do that. Just because, well, it's their fault. They left it open. It's like, you can't, if someone leaves their locker open, you can't just steal their stuff from the locker. Right. They left it open. No, you can't do that. But this is an absolute trope.
Right, it's 100%, and everyone knows what is about to happen too, except for her. So she's in a hotel room, which we all know the layout of. She walks past the bathroom to get in. She does not take note of the fact that the door is closed, and then the dog starts rooting around on the bed and uncovers what the words died on my lips. The hard thing was a container, a small square plastic container, and inside it, plain as day, were several cherries. 2 of them had been crushed so their juices escaped.
So, all right. So while he was assuming, and we're not there yet.
Sure. Yep. No one's confessed yet.
Assuming he's the murderer. He takes the cherries, places them in the cake, like you tried to do in your video. And then was like, I cannot fit a single more cherry in here. Time to put them back in my Tupperware container and into my luggage, which I carry with me. Or I don't know, maybe it was his pocket. We don't know how big the container is.
Well, I mean, maybe he's got another gig down the road in Half Fork or something, where he's going to be having to liberate another owl from someone's evil clutches, and thinks maybe there's a coincidence. It has a chance that they're allergic to cherries too.
Would you like to extend your stay in the peppermint room, sir? Yeah, I think so, because the funeral's coming up, and there's going to be a lot of people from around the state, even. So he stays there. So the dog pulls the container or the suitcase off the bed with his neatly folded stuff. He's leaving, and I guess she doesn't hear the shower or the whatever. Is he showering or something?
I think he's wrecking the can. He's coming back from
he's clearly
Brixton's. It didn't sit right. Yeah,
she's not hearing the Dumb and Dumber style. And she's just like refolding the stuff, and then she sees the cherries. And then he walks out, right? Mm-hmm. And she's like, he had a mean look on his face, I believe. He had on a tartan fanny pack with a rip down the front. Wait a minute. They sell those? Tartan fanny packs?
That's yeah.
And people buy them?
And did he put it on once he got home from Brixton's Bakery? He didn't wear that when he got out there?
That's a good question.
I don't know. Fanny packs you associate with the American tourist over in Europe trope, but this guy is just wearing it. He's got his lockpick in there to liberate owls. He's got some owl pellets in there, owl feed.
Am I too conspicuous with this owl T-shirt on?
Hey, you look it up. There's a wide variety of tartan fanny packs available at various retailers.
Damn it! Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's all sorts of things you can buy in theory, but
how rough would you say the fabric is that covers the outside?
They look pretty normally synthetic thing. They do not look like you could really use them as sandpaper if needed to be.
I need them to be rougher for me to believe this.
Yeah, so he sort of kicks out the door, comes out just like the killer in a movie when the detective is down in their basement and everyone knows that the killer's going to come back, but she's caught. There's no way out. Only she has to get past him to escape.
He took the time to wave in the air and go, "Do not go in there." So that was good to know.
I like also that she says the door to the bathroom had opened and Bobby, or rather Franklin Roberts, had emerged. It's like one of those stories, like old-timey stories or plays that Moby Dick or The Whale, or I'm sure there's other, Dickens probably did that as well, but Bobby, or rather Franklin Roberts. And then so the next chapter starts with the tartan ripped up fanny pack, the cherries in the container. And she's still trying to put this together. She's still holding out a possibility. She said earlier that or this was some unbelievable coincidence, and he had packed them in his bag for a snack while driving. I wish Sherlock Holmes had opened the door for things being an unbelievable coincidence during his books. That's just good detectiving.
Well, I think the cherries are probably something that he used to poison her. Watson, we never make assumptions. We could always be that he just had a container of the cherries to use as a snack food on his way along the route. Well, there's always who see things clearly, Holmes.
Good detective work.
Yes.
And so what happens here? What's the first thing you got here for the evil confrontation?
I don't have much except the tartan fanny pack.
I think she tries to be like friendly with him at first. She's like, "Hey, I was trying to
Yes.
rescue that owl too. Like, you know that Pringle can easily click his fingers and make things disappear. Like, oh, he can? Well, how much do you know about this guy? That sounds very sinister." And then so they're like, maybe we can break him and free him together. And she sort of spells it out for the audience. She says, "I was literally a foot away from a cold-blooded murderer. He'd slipped into the kitchen. He'd been snooping around. He'd probably seen the no cherries instruction written on the board and figured out what was going on. It all added up." So here's where I start to have questions.
Yes.
So he broke into the house to snoop around and potentially liberate the owl. He went into the kitchen for some reason, even though maybe he thought they kept the owl in the kitchen. He sees no cherries written on the board. He surmises that relates to a deadly allergy and not like, we're out of cherries, please go purchase some, or the host doesn't care for cherries, will not eat them. So then he leaves the house, goes and purchases cherries, returns later with them, with the plan that there will be a cake curing, a prototype cake that he can put them into that the host will then eat.
Yes.
I mean, this guy, they need him on SEAL Team 6. I mean, that's a deadly assassin whose plans work without a hitch. It's the most half-assed assassination attempt possible, and yet he pulled it off flawlessly.
Well, what she says is, it would have been the perfect crime if not for my gut feeling and Dixie's fantastic sleuthing. Would it have been the perfect crime? I mean, they had to have a security system. There were cameras everywhere.
Right.
You're wearing an owl shirt. You have a tartan fanny pack on. This is not...
Yeah,
you're not like a hoodie and sneaking in under cover of darkness. You're just like walking into this place.
He tore his fanny pack in multiple places, crawling in through a window, which he didn't have to do because the maid specified they don't lock their door.
Oh, that's right.
And so you mentioned it, but I made this video where I was going to see, like, how can you put cherries in a cake without anyone being able to tell the difference? And my joke was I just shoved them in and it ruined the cake. But as we did that, I was like, I hadn't read the second half of the book, and I was like, oh, well, this might make me look sort of stupid if what some of the people in Real or Fanfic wrote in last week and were like, oh, it was cherry extract. It was Cherry Creek, beer with like cherry in it. But nope, he what we said all along, he just went in there, pushed some cherries into the cake. The perfect crime.
It would have been the perfect crime if not for her gut feeling and Dixie's fantastic sleuthing. Did you peg Dixie as the solver of this case?
I thought Dixie probably thought there was like an owl pellet in the thing, and she wanted to eat it, then get sick, and then eat her own barf. That was, I think, what she wanted to do.
Yeah, there was a little bit of poop.
Owl pellets
Sniff,
look like
sniff.
poop to a
Where's
dog.
he been?
Round Reynolds? But yeah, the fantastic sleuthing. She also bit a guy. I guess Mr. Pringle had absolutely nothing to do with this, was completely innocent, was divorcing his wife. We don't know why. She could have been having an affair with someone. he's just frustrated and lashing out at a girl who's not doing the job he's paying her for. So, if anything, an innocent man was attacked.
And then Farah gets all the money, right?
She got all the wife's money. Like, yeah,
I don't think that changes, right? Nothing about this thing changes the her will, right?
No, the cook seemed completely
it's like
innocent.
if you kill someone, I think it's kind of like, insurance and suicide, double indemnity, right? Like, you murdered him, you can't get the insurance money. Like, if you, right? I don't think you can profit from your own crime. But since Farah was just like, I'm completely innocent, it was the UPS guy did it. Like, well,
the UPS guy's like, whoa. I was just picking up an additional shift here during the holidays.
So she gets the house, right?
Wow.
And the money?
Yeah. Yeah. No, he had the house. They had an unconventional arrangement, shall we say. A preposterous arrangement. Others might be less generous, but he gets the house and she gets the money. So
okay. Julius Pringle keeps the house.
He gets the house and his crisps fortune. He's not legally allowed to call them chips for some reason.
That's correct.
Just looking back at it, if it was like, oh, we think it was the UPS guy, and it's like, oh yeah, they're making deliveries at like 9 p.m. in my neighborhood this time of year, but it then turned out it was the OPS. A better twist would have been a more fun mystery.
By the way, I did see a thing just completely coincidentally about Pringles that they called them crisps so that when they exported them to England, they wouldn't have to pay like a snack fee or something, like some sort of import.
Oh, that's what it is?
Tax. So then everyone was like, they're not actually potato chips.
Yeah, I thought it was because it was
like
it's reformed potato matter or something. Like,
so they called it. But it was all like a tariff-based something. I don't know.
Wow. Anyway. Nice loophole, Julius.
Yes. Well, you get a mustache. It's kind of hard to read the fine print like
that. So the murderer let out a shout and ran towards her because he hears the detective rolling up with sirens blazing. So they're really going about this subtly. I think these small town detectives, they're kind of like, just give me a reason. They've got the guns drawn already. Like, all we get to investigate are like, old man Johnson was drunk driving and crashed into a flagpole. We haven't got to cap anybody our whole time we've been working here.
Turn off your cameras. Like, how are we supposed to do that? They're on all the time. We'll explain it later.
Yeah, I read how on some Al forums. And then they essentially, just like the teen the teen receptionist rats him out, and they bring him back, and he's like, let go of me, let go of me. A muffled yell followed, and then two officers entered the room with Franklin between them. Stop! Let me go! I didn't mean it, okay? I didn't mean to kill her. I just wanted to get her out of the way so I could... Shut up, son, one of the officers said. So that Franklin is loudly and violently waving his Miranda rights. Just doing a 100% Sideshow Bob confession.
Confronted with the evidence, Franklin Roberts confessed fully to the crime of putting cherries in a cake. No cherries made me think of, what was it? No Funeral. That.
Oh yeah, written on his notes with his head in the oven.
One of the times I laughed the hardest. No cherries. That would be a good note to put on your back when you put your head in the oven.
That would really confuse people.
What? What does that mean?
So anyone out there, if you're planning on, if you want to make a meme for the podcast, that'd be funny. I think that, so would it still qualify as manslaughter though? He didn't know it was going to kill her. I mean, he's like, I thought it was like the extremely uncommon, but the common type of cherry thing. It just would have like put fear into her if she felt her throat closing up. Who knows?
I think it would only would it even be manslaughter? It'd probably like plea deal down, right?
Yeah.
Although that's why his lawyer, if he had been there, would like, just shut up.
Shut up. All you say is lawyer. All you say is lawyer until I get
me
there.
my lawyer.
So she's like, we need to. She chooses this moment to try to bring up the fact that they're illegally housing a a raptor in their house to the police chief, who's like, I need to deal with this first. We are arresting the first murderer in town history, but we'll discuss this afterwards.
She also says, I exhaled and bit down on my bottom lip.
Wow.
So already the side of her mouth is bloody from her having chewed on it while she was talking to May. And now she bites down. Have you ever, everyone's done that. You accidentally really, really bite. Sometimes you're
awful.
like, oh.
Yeah.
But have you ever really you're eating
chomped
jerky or something and you just chew through your tongue like it's a piece of jerky?
It hurt.
It's like the worst.
Think about
you
it.
could kind of hear the slight crunching as your incisors go through. Ow! And people are like, oh, bit your lip, did you? Like, no, this is so worse than that.
Yeah, I could spit it out at you right now. God.
So she bit down on her bottom lip. So that's like one of those accidents where, you slam your head against the steering wheel and then your teeth go through your bottom lip. So that's what she did on purpose, I guess.
Yeah, not a well protagonist here.
No, poor Holly.
And then she says, I kissed Dixie's forehead and followed him out of the guest house and into the snowy white landscape. Okay, because Christmas is literally days away.
Wait, is Dixie... Oh, followed him, meaning the cop?
I question
Harry.
as well as reading this. Yeah, is Dixie's a girl?
Dixie's a girl, right?
Yeah, I guess she's not following Dixie. She's probably holding him as she walks out. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Put that new Christmas-themed lead to use, lady. All right, well...
And her murderer. I would just like to say, I think legally, I don't think you're allowed to say murderer.
Huh.
I don't think he murdered her. I think it was manslaughter.
Interesting.
Accidental death. He was merely trying to cause discomfort in the throat, as you say. Anyway, the alleged murderer. When we say it, we'll say alleged so that we don't get in any trouble.
Exactly. I don't want Franklin Roberts lawyers coming after us.
Exactly.
I had been right about Mrs. Pringle's death, and her alleged murderer would go to prison, and all before Christmas. Wonder where the prison is in this town. Are they just sending him upstate? He's going to Attica and going to Sing Sing.
Well, no, the prison is clearly right next to Sharnek's place.
Right.
He also manages that.
Yeah, he sort of he treats the apartment as a halfway house for people who just are out on parole.
Yeah. Welcome to Sharnek's prison.
Okay, so final chapter starts with her writing in her diary.
Yes, as you recall, we started with a diary. We'll end with a diary.
It's artful.
Yeah.
First and most importantly, Mrs. Pringle's killer has confessed to his crimes. He'll likely get a lighter sentence. No real indication why that might be the case. Maybe the judge is an Owl fan.
Lighter than what?
I mean, she said murder 2 paragraphs ago, so...
Killer.
Murder.
He was her killer, I guess, but she did say murderer. He'll likely get a lighter sentence. Well, of course, because didn't the handsome cop already said the most we can do is manslaughter?
Yeah, I guess so.
Right?
Yeah, so he had already ruled out any other option.
The DA is like, please don't say that to people. We're not even done charging. Don't say that's the most we can get. Now it's all over. It's all over town. All right, forget it. I guess it's manslaughter.
Yeah, it's like the Double Jeopardy movie. We can't do it. It's right there. I paused my writing to take a sip of the delicious peppermint hot chocolate May had delivered to my table in her pet cafe. You're really sucking these down. I think you know how many grams of sugar in just one of these. You've had multiple a day for the. You started saying it was Christmas season before Halloween, and now you've had like 3 of these a day.
Fat and sugar, like this is wow.
Second, dear Allentine the owl was set free. I talked to Detective Stokes about Mr. Pringer's bullying techniques and how Allentine was being kept illegally. He went out through all the correct channels and sorted it out. Hand waved away, the last you'll hear about that. No idea what the correct channels are of that. Maybe he just battering rammed down the door and said, like, the cameras are off. None of this will hold up in a court of law if you accuse us.
I wrote down like, how exactly? Oh, never mind. It's right here. The correct channel. Sorry. Why would I question that?
I mean, classic Small Duck the lady. We've never done anything like this before, so I have no idea what the correct channels are. Her mom took over organizing the Christmas pageant, so it's actually going to happen. It says there wasn't too much left to do, just a whole lot of people who didn't want to do it. The only people that were doing it were people that were already on the organizing committee. Like, if they don't want to do it, like, what were they on the committee in the first place for?
I didn't understand. Like, you have way too much of a top-down organization. If one person dies and then the rest of them are just, like, frozen, like, that's it. It's off. Like, that would be a terrible organization. You have to have, like, there's a board who's like, well, I nominate Ma to this position. Like, yes, I'm right here. I might as well do it. It
all
just seems like a
all in favor of Ma.
So
yeah.
They're no longer, well, I guess they're not 10th because the killer was caught. And the pageant is on. Not pageant, what is it? Celebration.
Christmas event. Yeah. No fireworks, though.
That's true.
That would be great if that was Ma's one thing. We will do the Christmas event. Yay. However, there will be lots of fireworks.
What? Pitchforks.
We're a pet-friendly town. All right. And then, so she's writing this thing, and then the detective walks up, interrupts her, asks if he could sit down next to her. Harry nodded. He bent and patted Dixie before leaning in and hugging me. I gasped at the contact, then blushed again. This is where I started to wonder, how old are you? And you've been in a relationship before? You've never been hugged?
Here's where I put it down. It's like a sentence later. Then again, it was a pretty big deal when it came from an exceptionally handsome detective, even one who had been mean in high school and who I kind of liked, even though I hated to admit it, even to myself. How old are you? What? Was mean to me in high school?
You dipped her ponytail in paint.
What?
I don't know.
So
but I do believe we spoke about using that voice earlier, so it's a...
Sorry. all about
I don't
the
know.
rules.
I don't know how old our protagonist is, or about the author. So that's another thing to be hung up on. If she was 21, maybe some of this would make a bit more sense.
So you think it's like a what is it? Raven darkness dementia?
Oh, could be. Yeah, this could have been started on a Tumblr. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like when you're referencing high school as like you were mean to me in high school. Like, wait, what? I don't remember that, was I? Yeah, I remember once in high school when we were dissecting a squid in biology and you put it in my locker later. Yeah, I don't remember that because that was like 25 years ago. So I'm sorry. Yeah. I think I was 13 at the time.
Yep. Not the same person now. So,
wow, that is weird that she's still hung up on that.
Right, and just being gasping at a hug is also just a girl ain't right. But then she goes on to say, he says, "You're intimidating me. I'm not. I'm just a regular small town girl." So her character description actually shows up as a line of dialogue, she says.
Oh, God. And then this part made me go like, oh, just give me more descriptions of cookies and peppermint sticks going through hot chocolate or whatever. No, it's just you're so ... handsome and sweet, and I'm just me. I like just you a lot. Just you is great in my book. Okay, had someone turned up the thermostat in here or what? Oh.
Maybe it was the horny thermostat.
Wow.
I don't know. That seems like dialogue that could easily be out, just sort of from the How to Write Cozy Mystery book from last time.
It could be. I also thought, of course, that Don DeMillo could have read that into a microphone and been perfectly fine.
I like just you a lot. Just you is great in my book. Someone turning up the thermostat in here. Daddy likes it hot in here.
A little something for Daddy. Oh, wow. That was... Whew.
Oh.
Do you have any more on that?
I mean, it just ends with, how about this? Just let's say Christmas a few more times. Sitting here with him, with Dixie enjoying herself. What is Dixie doing? Just the nose in her own crotch?
Enjoying herself.
Yeah. And Christmas music, chatter, and warmth all around. I couldn't envision anything but happiness for this Christmas. And for the first time in a while, I was completely comfortable and at home. End of book. But it hits you with like a 1-2 punch of the word Christmas right before they tap out. And then it says, Holly and Dixie's adventures continue in a third book in a Christmas trilogy. You can get Have a Jolly Collie Christmas here. So I'm curious if that picks up a day later, or if it like is next year at Christmas, because it still isn't Christmas yet. But
have a Jolly Collie Christmas, meaning that she and Dixie will then have to walk a collie for her business.
They might get hired to walk a collie. Whether she will walk the collie,
there will be no.
It's quite unlikely based on what we've read.
All right, and then later, because I want to bring these to you because it is the season. I don't feel like these are cozy, but I'm going to read them anyway. Anyway, the Hawaiian Burger Murder. You can get free copies of these. And the Fully Loaded Burger Murder.
Okay.
And these are all mysteries from the Burger Bar Mystery Series. So, I don't know. You still feeling Christmassy?
Feeling cozy, yeah.
After the Burger Bar.
That's just the puns. You didn't even try. The Hawaiian burger. What do you think a Hawaiian burger is, South African lady?
Yeah. I remember once when I first moved to San Diego, and someone from I was just kind of meeting the staff, and someone from the staff. This is years ago. They go like, "Hey, you better go have lunch. Where do you want to grab lunch?" And there was a place that was close, and it was Islands.
Oh, sure.
Do you remember that place?
Yeah.
I think it's a chain. I assume it's a chain. And I was just like distracted because I'm meeting people. And the woman comes over. She's like, "What could I get you?" And I'm like, "The Island Burger? I don't know." And then it came back and it was like the crappiest hamburger with a slice of pineapple on it. The other guys are like, "Is that what you wanted?" I'm like, "Yeah, this seems delicious."
I don't know about this new guy. That's might have made a huge mistake here.
Wow. I assume you specialize in the Island Burger. It was just the worst hamburger, like from a cafeteria lunchroom with a ring of pineapple.
Well,
wow,
I'll have you know that the cover of the Hawaiian Burger Murder by Rosie A. Point features, it is a burger.
Yeah.
But I guess she realized that in order to convey that it is a Hawaiian burger, you would not be able to see that with the bun on and anything. So the wheel of grilled pineapple is just sitting on the table, leaning up against the burger to really drive this
perfect. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Very
well,
nice.
I believe we talked about this certainly more than it would take to read the book.
People pointed out that our last episode was longer than the audiobook of it, and I assume this is as well. So,
all right.
This has
and I'm sure longer than it took her to write the book. So
that's a decent chance, yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right. One email that we do dumb sentences.
Okay.
This one is from Brian. He says, "I have completed I'll Be Home for Christmas, a Meg Langslow mystery." So he read the other I'll Be Home for Christmas.
Oh, wow.
So this one had like 418 reviews, 4.7 stars, just universally loved.
Sure.
The other one had like 120 reviews. So it's still more than any book I've ever written, but not small potatoes compared to this one. He says, "Let me tell you what, it was cozy. It takes place in the small Virginia town of," it's written Caerphilly, so carefully.
What?
He says, "It's far enough away from D.C. to be rural, but close enough to Dulles Airport to be convenient. It's clearly not off either possible interstate, because when the snowstorm happens, everything is blocked. The town of Caerphilly has a small college where Meg's husband is a dramatics professor and where her grandfather runs the biology/owl department/zoo. Meg's father is the town doctor, and her mom seems to be the town decorator. It's rather unclear what she actually does. Meg, in addition to being a blacksmith, is also the mayor's assistant, apparently. This is stacking up weirdness already. The titular Al Percival is a side character and is unrelated to the story.
Oh, perfect.
The
Wait,
main
she's
Al,
a blacksmith?
That's what he says. Not expanded upon. I guess it's a rural thing, or maybe she's a recreator in some sort of colonial type of town.
Flash dance kind of thing.
The main owlness is because of the Owl Academic Conference, Owlfest, that is taking place during this snowstorm with a bunch of owl academics. The cozy features of the town include the mayor and his family, who seem to run anything. They are kind of like Larry, Daryl, and Daryl from Newhart. There you go, kids. Yeah. As well as the Carefully Inn, which, as I mentioned in my last email, was a seemingly cozy inn off Interstate Conference Center. The bar and grill attached to it is like the Hogwarts kitchen, in that you can order anything you like. The town policeman... there's also a chief who shows up in a snowmobile driven by Daryl, or Daryl is a retired Baltimore homicide detective. As a cozy mystery, there are 2 mysteries happening, and neither have to do with the death of the beloved but really hated Dr. Frogmore. There's an attempted murder/assault of Meg, a black widow spider, a mushroom allergy, off-brand Viagra, a mention of cruel work, which is a type of embroidery. It touches on a bit of everything we've read so far. In short, it was a very cozy mystery mistake. It's not great writing, but it was fun. So that was from
Brian's reading that
summary.
one? I'm sure that had way more word count.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, it sounds like a nice little insanity in that series.
Wow.
Who knows?
That
maybe
sounds
next
good.
Year. Black widow spiders, mushroom allergies.
Mushroom We had 2 allergies of this one.
Again, it's hard to know how one of these you could pick it and have it be good, especially if it is someone who's just sort of writing them quickly and not a real author. But this one did the job for me. It delivered what I expected.
I was not disappointed in it. It's not like, oh, I expected this to be fantastic. This is really letting me down. No. What did you expect?
Here's one more email. This is from John. Regarding the aforementioned 4-star review of I'll Be Home for Christmas, which was, since the book didn't have a lot of pages, it was a fast read. You could picture the dog in her sweater. Entirety of review. The page count assessment is accurate. However, I could not picture the dog in her sweater, so this review was not helpful. I think someone needed to call this out, and it might as well be me. Well, let's do the dumb sentences of the week.
Dumb, 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 dumb. Dumb sentence of the week.
All right. First one is from John. This is May saying this. We grew up together, remember? He says, I would hope Holly remembers growing up with her best friend. Brian, the guy with a blonde faux hawk, it was so familiar, so his head and did most of the talking. Maybe I misplaced something. But yeah, anyway, calling out the fog. Balaji and Andy, their sentence was, it was Christmas themed, referring to the dog's leash, of course. Amy submitted, and the wriggling eyebrows made their return. Did they really return? Because they were wiggling the first time around. I don't know. Voluntari and TM both submitted. The shadiest character I know, excluding the last murderer, is Mr. Sharnek and his toupee. And this sentence has it all, says Voluntari. False equivalence, a bad toupee joke, and the casual offhanded mention of a murderer. And TM mentions that this is even funnier considering there's a third book that apparently takes place during this time period. So no shady characters except a guy allergic to dogs, except the 3 murderers that came in a matter of weeks. Harrison submitted, Dixie licked my wrist again and I resumed petting her. He said, thank you, Rosie. I can't function without knowing if Dixie is getting her pets. Michael submitted something about genetic drift in a small populations of lions in sub-Saharan Africa. He says, I was relieved her sister was fleshed out as a character so masterfully. As Mike likes to say from time to time, stately plump Buck Mulligan, this ain't. Andrew submitted, and since when are you the Owl Police? And since when are you the Owl Police? Nathan submitted, the roof was covered in snow and the door was shut tight with a wreath. I don't remember that, but he says, what in the world is this wreath doing to keep a door shut tight?
I believe, I think that was, I did note that. She just said, like, the inn that she went to, the knife and fork inn or whatever.
Got it.
It's like, wow, how cozy. There's snow on the roof and a wreath is something like that.
The door shut tight with a wreath on
Yes,
it.
yes.
Craig submitted, I feel so cringy and weird even writing that, but that's literally what happened. That's her own diary. Hayden submitted, I turned my head left and right, pretending to scan the interior of the bakery, but it was an attempt to act natural while viewing Delilah out of my peripheral vision. He said, so Holly is a Terminator, confirmed. We always get that in movies, too, where someone looks at a room and it takes 15 seconds for them to
it's like the scan, and then they cut to the eyes, and they're going like this. Just look at the room.
Janelle and Aaron both submitted, Full Fork was about pets, food, and holidays. Aaron said, and the giant hog rendering plant that employs 80% of the county. Elizabeth submitted, the last time she hadn't liked a server, she'd bitten down on his pants leg. Claire submitted, shut up, son, one of the officers said. Chap submitted, stop staring at my pants, Mr. Pringle roared. And Alejandro submitted, they call him their feather baby. Ugh. I had one that was May doing her delivery. She said, I've got my donut and I'm ready to listen. I'm the sassy friend in a cozy mystery.
Stop staring at my pants did remind me of, and the kids will love this, there's an old Bugs Bunny where he has the square off with the bull in the giant bull ring, and the bull like charges up to him and then stops like on a dime and then breathes like with rage on his tail, and then he turns around and slaps him and goes, stop steaming up my tail. Stop staring at my pants. We already pointed this one out, but I'll say it again. Dixie flew into a rage at the cheek of the man.
Oh, nice.
So again, that's three different things that he was flying into a rage. She was flying into a rage about.
Well, he was roaring. She's flying into a rage. This is this. Man, they should just let him have at it. Wow. Well, that was a cozy mystery.
So cozy.
I don't know what else you hope for. There's peppermint stirring, occasional mentions of snow to remind you that the snow was there, and a
cozy inns, the peppermint room,
faux hawks.
Which, by the way, the peppermint room, you got to know, like the guy before him. Well, he wrecked the toilet while he was there, but it was already pre-wrecked, and so like it had that, like the seal on the toilet was kind of not quite there. So it was sort of brown around the outside of the toilet. This is our peppermint room. I hope you enjoy your peppermint time here.
This is where the mayor got caught smoking crack that time when the FBI set him up. He was in the peppermint room. John Edward, he was having an affair in the peppermint room when when the reporters kicked down his door.
I noticed there's not a ring around the toilet seat. It hasn't been sanitized yet. Yeah, we're getting to that. Enjoy the peppermint room.
Yeah, we got a guy who likes to pay to watch me sanitize the toilet, and so he's only available in an hour. So he's going to come in. He's perfectly harmless. He won't do it in here. He goes back to his hotel room to do it.
He lives over in Holly's building. All right, folks. Thank you.
Yeah, and on a cozy note, with weirdos paying to watch sanitation guys sanitize a toilet. Thanks for listening this year, and hope we have some wacky stuff in the new year. But
we do indeed. Thanks, everyone.
This was cozy.
Have a cozy one.
Bye.